I'm Ted Vernon, the star of South Beach Classics, and I must tell you, a lot of crazy stuff happened while we were filming. I've got a list of clips we're going to show now. Some of them I'll remember, some of them I wish I could forget.
This is Beach Channel 19 live on location with a breaking news report. A 4 a.m. fire ripped through nearly a dozen cars at Ted Vernon's Specialty Auto Shop, home of the Velocity Channel's hit reality series South Beach Classics. Thick black smoke curled up over I-95 and you could see it for half a mile in either direction. Firefighters dragged hoses farther than the length of 2 football fields to attack the raging flames.
We had a fire at the shop, and I was out of town at the time, and I got the call, and I came home, and the damage was terrible. I was horrified. It happened in the north side of the back warehouse, and we had a car that was Jimmy Buffett's car that got burned. I got a classic Chevy two-door got burned. My Phantom Rolls Royce got scorched. I don't know, probably 6-8 cars got damaged. And it was terrible. This was one of the worst things to ever happen at the shop. People say the show's not real. This is real. This is stuff that happened. Oh, I remember this. This was one of the times a car came through my fence off of 95 and smashed into my cars. Happened a few times when I was in this location. This was a bad one. It hit like 5 cars and smashed total 2 or 3 of them. I took that hit. Not a good day. One of my employees got a turkey suit, so I made him wear it and carry a sign advertising our business all along 7th Avenue. It was hysterical. And then I made a bet with him and I lost the bet and I had to wear the turkey suit. Not fun. I got a taste of karma and it wasn't good. I remember this one. I did a deal with Jimmy Johnson, the coach, brilliant man, and we were down in the Keys and I attempted to drive an Alante down there, forgetting what kind of cars they really are, and it didn't make it. It's a very, very embarrassing and irritating day. The reason I had so many Alantes was I bought 45 cars for 30 grand, and like 30 something of them were Alantes. I got rid of them, but they're a nightmare. I hate them. I sold a motorcycle to a guy in Australia. The moron that worked for me at the time sent the wrong bike. He sent my bike. And it was typical with this guy, unfortunately. And I lost my bike, but I got it back just before the ship sailed. I got it back and put the proper bike in the container. This is a normal occurrence at my place in Miami. I can laugh about it now. Boy, when it happened, I was angry. This is the infamous bus that everyone remembers that we had on our show, South Beach Classics. Break 19, this is an idiot. I just bought a dead Greyhound bus. Hello? It's funny to you? There's a thermos from the 60s. There's a rat from the 90s. At least there's no corrosion. There's nothing left to corrode. There's a bed in the back.
Oh, now you know what you have at your doghouse.
The way this was going, I'm gonna have to stay there. They only made 1,001 of these, and you bought the worst one. Right from the first get-go, it bothered me. A bus restaurant on my lot. I'm in the car business, not in the hamburger business. This was a disaster. I started working on the bus, gutting it, cleaning it, getting it ready for this cockamamie idea to become a reality, and we got broken into. And they stole the bus. What a shame. It was music to my ears to see that creature off my property. This disaster was not my idea. They brought in sand to make a commercial of some kind here, and then it rained out. Everything rained. All the sand went down the drain. Another stupid idea gone wrong. It left me here sitting in like a foot of water. This was horrible. Stupid. This group of disasters is pretty much what happens over the years of doing this business. You try different things, you make mistakes. We were big on mistakes. They always cost me money. There'd be good days and there'd be terrible days. But even in the disasters, the show must go on. You gotta get over it, gotta keep pushing. This is what we did. 90s was not known for great cars. Buying and selling cars in the 90s, the 80s was great fun with vintage cars. Not too much late model. I really didn't bother with them. But the old cars, they were great. Business was really good then. From 1975 up, the cars got bad. Emissions, all the rules and regulations and everything. And they priced them much higher because of that. And they weren't any better than they were before. My guys have put together a list of cars for me to look at, late model. Some of these cars I sold, and I'm supposed to guess the cost of the car new, which I have no idea, and what it would sell for now. I get the feeling that a lot of these cars are worth nothing. They're just turds. Here we go, back to the 90s. The music wasn't bad, but the cars were. Dodge Intrepid, 4-door. They built these cars to fight the market against Japanese cars. They didn't win. These Intrepids were terribly unreliable. Really not a good car. In the classic car business, do I see any of these cars for sale or available? No. Nobody cares. I guess back then it was probably a $12,000 or $14,000 car. It's probably worth $500 to $800 now. Actually, the Model 30 Dodge, way back in the 20s and teens, was one of the first steel-bodied cars. And now your Dodges are known for the Challengers and the Chargers and muscle cars, which really made that company a serious success. The Dodge brothers, may they rest in peace, would probably be upset with what they built in the 90s. This is a Dodge Neon. Neon has 4 letters. So does Turd, because that's what that car is. These cars were featured as first cars for people back in the 90s. Young kid would get a car, he'd be safe and economical, he'd buy one of these. The Neon was made to be cheap, and it looked cheap. It was a turd. I wouldn't have this turd on my lot. It's embarrassing. I imagine back then it probably sold in the low to mid 3,000s. I don't think it's worth $300 today. Oh, the Dodge Avenger. What a beautiful turd. Absolute piece of junk. There's just no value. I don't sell that kind of car. I don't buy that kind of car. They're just nothing. This car had the worst of both worlds. It was inspired by Japanese ugly cars and ran ugly as well. This Dodge Avenger is such a nothing car that if I had it on my lot, I'd probably get $1,000 or $1,500 for it today if it was nice. Oh, there it is, Soccer Mom. That's a Dodge Caravan. That is a piece of duty. That is really something. Why would you possibly buy that car? They killed the station wagons that I like. They even featured wood paneling on some of them. It didn't help. I would think this car was mid-teens, somewhere in that range. Now it's mid-teens as well. It's probably $1,200. But back then it was probably 15, 16 grand. If I had this car on the lot and it was nice, I'd probably ask between $2,000 and $2,500. Now here's a change of pace. Dodge Viper. Those are beautiful cars. They're fun to drive. They've held their value. The Viper is an iconic American sports car that was really hitting it in the 90s. Back in the 90s, young men would have posters of this car. This was a dream car. I think this car, when new, was bringing in the low 50s. I think it'll bring that or more today. I've had a lot of these Vipers. I probably had 20, and I've never lost a dime on any of them. They're strong, they hold the market, they still do. Dodge Durango SUV. How beautiful is that car? You know, a nice family SUV. What I like about SUVs is they basically killed minivans. You know, back in the 90s, people wanted to get these bigger family cars. They could put 4 or 5 kids in there and go around and travel. The Durango was good for that. They were pretty powerful cars. The only thing they couldn't pass was a gas station. I think the Dodge Durango back in the day was mid-20s, somewhere in that range. If I had that car on my lot now, $3,500, something like that. Here's a Dodge Ram pickup, and I've had a lot of them, and I just really like a Dodge. They're great trucks. I'm really a Dodge guy when it comes to pickup trucks. They're good, real good. These Dodge vans were marketed to construction companies, workers of all kind, because that was a dependable truck and you would get the job done. Dodge pickups are so popular. You got the Chevy Silverados, you got the Dodge Ram. When I have an older pickup on the lot, as long as it runs good and is relatively clean, it sells $5 grand, $7,500. You can sell them all day long. People need them. The older pickups, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, they're all popular. I can't keep them on the lot. They just go. You could buy one of these in the mid-teens, 15, 16 grand. If I had a pickup truck like that now, it would probably sell for 75, 8,500, maybe more. They hold their value. I've had so many Jeeps, colors, sizes, ranges, the 40s, the 50s, whatever. The last Jeep I had was Pelican Puke Pink, and I bought it for almost nothing. A guy was getting divorced, and it was the last thing left of his marriage, and he wanted it gone. Good, bad, or ugly, they all sell. The Jeeps are so popular, any open Jeep will sell. You know, Jeeps were originally World War II Army vehicles, and they were so popular they kept making them for the public. And they still make them, and they're still good. They're great cars, they hold their value, and they sell. I sold like 3 of them this week. Jeep buyers that really love the Jeeps, they keep buying Jeeps. And young people that want to take it off-road and have fun and go in mudding, paint them, they accessorize them incredibly. They don't care about the money, they just make them insane. Around 1990, you could buy a car like that around 10 grand, which is what it's worth today. I think that you'd buy it for 10 then. If you had it today and it looked as good as that, you'd probably get 10 back for it. There you see a forgotten car. And it's good it's forgotten. It's an Eagle, which is French for no one wants it. Chrysler wound up owning Jeep and Eagle. They did good with Jeep, not so much with Eagle. Nothing car. Gone now, thank God. The 90s cars, for some reason, were almost always painted ugly colors. They weren't nice. They weren't something that would catch your eye. That car probably sold for 8 or 9 grand new, and that was too much. If I had it on my lot, I would probably just junk it. When you drive off the lot, you lose 50%. With these turds, you lose 90% when you drove off the lot, because they were horrible. The cars of the 90s were not great. I enjoy being a classic car dealer. Those are not classic cars, other than the Viper. If you want to see more of these turds, I can't help you. But if you want to see more classic cars and have fun, you can watch my show, South Beach Classics, on Chopper Town or on the Beach Channel. This was painful to watch. All I kept seeing was turds and cars I don't want to ever see. The only car that was nice and had a value and holds its value is the Dodge Viper. Other than that, turds. They're ugly. They're just ugly. These are the top 5 questions that my viewers ask me. Question number 1, where's Robin? Next question. Question number 2, where is Ted Vernon's South Beach Classics located now? We are in Lake Wales, Florida on 27, and it's beautiful there. We got 7 acres on a lake. It's just gorgeous. Question number 3, what's my favorite car? That's a tough one. I think my 2 Phantom Rolls Royces and my Bugatti. That's my favorite car with an S. Question number 4, what happened to my hair? I don't know. It's just gone. Question number 5, what's with my mustache? It's my trademark. I love it. I'm keeping it. Bonus question number 6, are my deals real? I'm a car salesman. Of course they're real. What else am I going to do? I couldn't make it as a brain surgeon. Hi, I'm Ted Vernon, host of South Beach Classics TV show, and I have a list here of some of the top, most beautiful classic cars that people love. Let's get started. My favorite car is a '59 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz convertible. I love this car. I'm going to find one and get it again. I've had a lot of them. This is my favorite car. The fins, the metal, the chrome, it's just such a spectacular, beautiful, flamboyant, I guess would be a good word. It's a flamboyant car. It's a big boat. The fins are outrageous. The whole car is outrageous. I had a pink one like this that was outrageous and stretched in the back. It was badass. And Rick Ross, the rapper, who's a friend of mine, really super nice man, he said, I want the car. I said, I'm not selling the car. He goes, I want the car. No, Rick, you're not getting the car. He goes, how about if I buy this car and 20 others? I said, you'll get the car. So that's what he did. Rick is such a good guy. We had a lot of fun, and I don't own the Cadillac anymore, but I'm going to get another one. This is a Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing. It's a wonderful automobile. My dad had one when I was a kid, this color. I think he paid 50 grand for it. Today they're bringing well over $1 million. And one of them recently sold at auction for $142 million. Must have had a hell of a pedigree. But this is a wonderful car. Porsche 911 Turbo. They're very popular. They're still not old, but they're sure available and they're sure worth the money. They go up in value every year like clockwork. You will earn more money with this car per year than you will on money in the bank. Here is a Ferrari 250 GTO. Gorgeous car, so collectible. It's, in the millions. It's very, very smart to own one of these because they're going to go to the moon in value. Do I like driving them? No. I bought a Ferrari 308 and I thought I made the buy of a lifetime. 2 days later, the tranny falls out of the car and I lost my butt on the deal. So you never know. But I like big cars. This animal is a Shelby Cobra. This is a badass car. They're a spectacular car. They're worth a lot of money. But there's a lot of people building replicas of these cars now. You can buy them for 40, 50 grand, and they're beautiful and dependable and nice. And they are selling like hotcakes. I've had a bunch of them. I've done very well with these. This is a Lincoln four-door convertible. It's an iconic collector car. So many celebrities have owned them. John F. Kennedy was assassinated in one of these, which is a horror, but it's true. It's just a magnificent car. My wife is killing me to buy her one, but the tops are always a little bit iffy. So many switches and relays, and it's a problem sometimes. That's the only bad thing I can say about one of these. I love these. This fabulous car is a 1953 Corvette. It's first year for the car. Blue Flame 6 engine. Just a fabulous old motor car. You can't get hurt if you buy one of these without being stupid. I'm going to find another one and buy it. I've had a bunch of them. Love them. Here is one of the most popular collector cars today. It doesn't matter so much the year or the condition, you can sell it. Mustangs. I'm not talking about the new ones. I'm talking about the 60s, mid-60s to late 60s. The Mustang was the most successful car launched by Ford since the 1927 Model A. This is an American classic. It's been in movie after movie. Steve McQueen, the one he rode in Bullitt, sold for like $4 million. It's unbelievable how popular these cars are. This is a Jaguar XKE Coupe. I'm very familiar with these cars. I've broken down in them many, many times. I love them. They're beautiful, but they're not mechanically wonderful. I had convertibles, so many of them, and I would drive them and they would stop running and I'd fix them and drive them again. I love these cars, but they are finicky animals. Some of the cars on this list are great drivers. Some of them are eye candy. You got to make that decision yourself. This is a fast car. This is a Plymouth Hemi. This car looks fast and is fast. Sometimes you look at a car and you think you may be this, you don't have to think. This car flies. They too will start climbing in value because they're a powerful muscle car and they're a reenactment of the original Chargers, but they're still super popular cars and they're fun to drive. You got to watch about the traffic tickets so you can get them in this car. A lot of them. This is an Aston Martin DB5 Coupe. Looks like James Bond should be driving it. And they're fabulous cars. They hold their value. They go up in value. Good British speedster car. British cars. I love my Rolls Royces, my Bentleys. I love those British cars. I like Jaguars, Aston Martin. I like almost all the British sports cars and luxury cars. I've had Armstrong Siddeley, which is a huge car. Austin Princesses look like Rolls Royces. So many of these wonderful British cars. I think they're my favorite. Love British cars. This is a list of great cars, but there are more. This is not all of them. There's Duesenberg, there's Bugatti, there's so many. I just bought an Excalibur, which is super popular. Stutz Blackhawk, Elvis Presley had a bunch of them. There's just so many wonderful cars. This is a start. We'll get some more. We'll go do more. But this is a start. Beautiful cars. Thanks for watching. I'm Ted Vernon from South Beach Classics. Watch my show. Hi, my name is Ted Vernon, and I've always bought and sold classic cars. I never collected. I don't have a car. But lately I'm getting soft, I think, because now I have cars of my own that I won't sell. I have 2 Phantom Rolls Royces. I have an extended wheelbase car, which is longer than a memory, that belonged to Steve Wynn in the Wynn Casinos. Love the car. And then I have a Rolls Royce Drophead Phantom, which means convertible to us humanoids. And it's just glorious. I love it. I drive it a lot. Those are my 2 rollers. And I have a 1929 Bugatti Royale, which is just off the charts. It belongs to my dog and me. Because if I try to drive the car off my property, the dog will run out in the street chasing me. Unless I drive him in the car first, then he won't bother with it. It'll just go back in the house. But that's an incredible car. I got a 1935 Lincoln limousine. Has a sedanka top. They found a corpse in a field, rotted to the ground. But the car's aluminum, and it didn't rot. So they picked up the corpse, put it on a brand new F-150 truck chassis with a motor, automatic AC, everything like that, and built it around that. And it's just glorious. Just such a nice car. Let's see, I got that. I got a 1951 Hudson Hornet, one-of-a-kind car, supposed to have been built for the New York Car Show. It has no top. The windshield are shaped like this instead of like normal. They come out like a heart. And it's got a Continental kit on the back. It's just outrageous. One-of-a-kind, red. I love red cars. That's pretty much what I got. I've become a collector, which I never thought I would do. Is I've got this catch of cars that are mine that I won't sell. And now I've got to go now and try to buy cars from people that don't want to sell their cars. And that's going to be tough, but I'm going to give it my best. Hi, I'm Ted Vernon from South Beach Classics TV show. And I got some pictures here of cars I've had on my show, some of my favorites, and they're cool. I remember this car well. This is a Amphicar, meant to drive on the land or the sea. It was a great idea, wasn't a great car, but I tried to buy it from this guy, offered him crazy money, wouldn't sell it, but he took me for a ride in the bay with it, and I had a blast. I'm just yelling out of the car and enjoying myself. It's just so cool. Next one is a 65 Cadillac convertible that's painted up like the Scarface car. The guy wanted this car. He said I would only buy it from me if I did a Scarface scene with it. And if he liked the way I did it, he'd buy the car. He liked the way I did it, he bought the car. It's a great car, fun car. And here's your John DeLorean special, the DeLorean motor car. You might already recognize this car as John DeLorean's baby, the DeLorean. And they're good, strong cars. They sell well. They're not that difficult to service. And they've gone up steady every year since they were made. This is a real pretty car. This is a Silver Cloud 3 Rolls Royce. I sold this car to Philip Buchanan. He's an NFL ball player and just a sweetheart of a guy. He fell in love with the car like I did, and he got it. Still has it. You know, it's interesting because when you buy a new car, as soon as you drive off the lot, you've lost 30% of the value. This car goes up every single year. That's what's great about classic cars. They're a great investment. And this guy's in love with this car. He still has it. I'm waiting for him to sell it back to me. Here's one I did not want to sell. This is a 1960 Cadillac convertible, pink. It's actually Pelican Puke pink. And Rick Ross is a friend of mine. He's a rapper and he's very famous, very sweet guy. He's bought probably 20, 30 cars from me. And he came in, I wasn't selling the car, I don't want to sell the car. He said, I want the car. I said, I don't want to sell it. He didn't give me a choice. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse and he bought it. And I was up at his house in North Atlanta and there it was sitting at his house. Beautiful car, I still miss it. This one here is a Chrysler convertible, gorgeous car. This newlywed couple came into my office and she said she was looking for a car, and I saw this blonde, and I said, you know what? This is the car you want. You don't have to look at anything else. And she looked at the car, she fell in love with the car, and they took it with them when they were there. Beautiful car. And that car, being a convertible, when the top goes down, the price goes up. This car goes up every single year, like clockwork. This was a funny deal. This guy had too much money. This guy came in wanting to buy this classic Camaro, but he also wanted a brand new Camaro at the same time. He said, I'll give you the money, get one for me. So I got them both. I followed him home. I wanted to drive the old one, but he made me drive the new one. This is your typical Tri-5, 55, 56, 57. Just a gorgeous two-door car, and as soon as I get these, they're gone. They sell so well, and I didn't have to sell them, he sold himself. This is a Pelican Puke pink Jeep. It's ugly. I bought it from a guy for almost nothing. It was the last vestige of his marriage, and he didn't want to have it anymore. So he brought it to me, I made him a silly offer, and he took it. And I've had it about 3 or 4 times. He keeps coming back to me. But it's a good car. Just the color is a little funky. Here's one of my favorites. This is basically the first car I ever had. Was a Nash Metropolitan. I had a convertible, yellow and white. I have a soft spot for these. Nash is it has an English motor, and the body is American. One of my soft spots is for these cars, because first car. These are some of the best cars I've had on my show, and I'm looking forward to the new season. We're going to have more great cars and more great deals, and it's just, you never know what's going to come into my store. I love it. The clients are great. Lake Wales is great. And just having fun. In the car business, you make a lot of friends. I've been friends with Brian and Jay Graham for a long time. This was part of the episode that we filmed up there in Chicago at the Volo Museum. Brian took me on a museum tour, showed me a lot of the cars. I saw the Ghost Rider bike. I saw the hearse from the Terminator. The General Lee cars, 1969 orange Dodge Charger. I've had a few of the Dodge Chargers just like that one before. I saw lots of very cool motor cars. I went to Chicago a couple times, once to buy an Amphicar. I failed, and I got to ride in it, and one to buy a Lamborghini from them. That worked out real well. We wound up racing for 50,000 or so, or 100, I forget, with tractors, but I lost. Volo just sent me some new footage from the new season of House of Cars, and I'm looking forward to watching it. I want to see what new cars they get, so maybe I can cherry pick and buy some. This is the DeLorean from Back to the Future. What they did to this car, it's insane. I remember the DeLoreans. They were very unusual cars. I bought quite a few of them back in the day. I didn't make any significant money on them. You know, they just got some movie cars in the movie Ford versus Ferrari. They got some of the actual cars in the movie, which is very cool. And a station wagon from the movie as well. Boy, they got stuff. You know, Brian is able to acquire some of these incredible cars. He's a gambler. He'll pay a little more than he should, or you know, like we all try to buy them as low as we can. He'll step up. But he knows what he's got. He's got the museum. People come in and see it all, and he earns. So they know what they're doing. The cars I'm looking at now are cars that Jay Graham bought, and he's going to flip these cars. He buys them to sell. I see a couple of SS Camaros. There's just so many cars here. I need to go back there and buy some. Now Jay, his brother, does most of the actual deals on the buying and the selling end. You know, Jay and myself really are cut from the same cloth. We like to make our money on the buy and the sell. Brian, not so much. He's more into the getting the right cars and the beauty of it all. It's a good combination, it really is. Making a classic car show is not easy. I have one, they have one. It's not easy to do. They get it done. I get it done. From what I saw, it's going to be a great new season because they got some spectacular cars in. I'm going to be watching it. You should be watching it. It's just a great show. So you're buying your first classic car. There are things you need to know before you buy one. My name is Ted Vernon. I'm a classic car dealer. I have a TV show called South Beach Classics. I know a lot about antique cars. I've been in the car business about 55 years. Don't like being under somebody's thumb. I like doing things my way. So I had $1,000 and I wanted to driving in a car business, turn those $200 cars to $400 cars to $800 cars, $1,500 cars to $100,000 cars. Just hard work, staying on it, and loving what you do. If you love what you do, you don't work. I do so many deals outside of the TV show South Beach Classics because that's just a little teeny bit of what I do. I have moved hundreds of thousands of cars, if not millions. The first classic car that I ever had was a 1961 Nash Metropolitan convertible. I loved that car. I bought it for $500. I drove it for a couple of years and then sold it for $500, thinking I'm a hero. That same car today brings $12,000 to $15,000. But back then, $500 was a lot of money. The last two cars I sold were classic Lincolns from the 50s. I sold them to a dealer friend of mine from Daytona, Florida. The people that buy classic cars are from all walks of life, young, old, sane, insane, all kinds of people. And they have reasons. A lot of them always wanted a classic car. A lot of them grew up with that car and want to now get that memory back. There's a lot of different reasons. Classic car people are normally super nice. It's such a tight-knit, nice group of humans. I think the biggest mistake classic car buyers make, if they're new and it's the first time, they don't check enough. Because these cars don't repair as quick or as easy, parts-wise, etc. You need to check the car for rust. You need to check the engine, the transmission. You need to see if the gauges, all the other little things, the windows work, etc., etc. Don't just walk in and buy it. They're old. You'll find things. If you're looking to find your first classic car and you want to buy it right, I don't suggest an auction because you're bidding against other people. I would go to the car shows. Certain areas have car corrals where people get together to buy, sell, and trade. Those are fun to do. You can walk through those, learn about what they have, look at prices. I think that's the best way because auctions are tough, real tough. If you don't know what you're doing, you can get burned bad. And if you're looking to buy your first car and you go to a dealer or wherever you go, don't show your emotions. Don't act excited about it. You know, a good classic car buyer probably has a good poker face because you don't want to seem excited about it. You want to just be casual. You're looking at the car. You may be having a heart attack how much you like it. Don't let them know because you'll pay. Now you know my tips on buying a classic car. Your first classic car is going to be a memory you'll never forget. You want to try to be smart when you buy it, but even if you're not, you make a mistake, that's not the end of the world. These cars have a habit of holding their value. And if you don't make it with the first one, you got to give it a second shot. I'm doing it over 50 years and it's fun. You know, you might find out that you're good at this and start rocking and rolling with classic cars, or you might buy one and be done.